Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand in opposition of this bill, our budget that is before us. You know, it's very concerning to me when municipalities are facing cuts with this budget. Education is facing cuts with this budget. The elderly, the youth, all facing cuts with this budget. Perhaps, though, what is most disturbing to me are the cuts to those with intellectual and developmental disabilities, the entire IDD family, those cuts that are affecting DSS. Interestingly enough, those cuts that are affecting DEMIS, here we are with a huge heroin problem nationally, certainly within the state of Connecticut, and we sit there and say how much more funding has to go into mental health, and ironically, what do? But we're actually cutting it. It's a little hypocritical of us, I think, as a legislature. Also a little hypocritical of us, I believe, are the various days that we have here in the legislature: ARC days, HARC days, IDD days, Special Olympic days, where 1 minute we're having our picture taken with those families and those individuals that suffer from intellectual and developmental disabilities. And then days later or weeks later, here we are voting to do the very thing that these families are asking us not to do, and that is to cut their very valuable funds and expect there not to be any repercussion. Believe me, there will be. We talk about a second chance society all the time, and there's debate on whether people believe in a second chance and people who don't believe in a second chance. And then you have to define exactly what exactly is a second chance, and is it really a second chance, or is it a second, third, fourth, fifth chance, and so on and so forth. But these are individuals, ladies and gentlemen, who never truly got a first chance in life. I think we need to stand up as a legislature on both sides of this aisle, the Republicans and the Democrats, and put our money where our mouth is and not cut valuable funds that those who are living with and our family members with developmental and intellectual disabilities, social service programs, as well as the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. So for those reasons and various others that I mentioned when I first started speaking, the cuts to municipal aid, the cuts to educational money, those that are the most needy, elderly, the youth programs that have been cut, the aging commissions that have been combined, so on and so forth, I stand in opposition of this budget being presented today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.